Hi, boys and girls. Today we are going to read a story called The Berenstain Bears and the Messy Room. And I know a lot of you know these Berenstain Bears. They have a lot of great books out. So let's find out about the messy room. I'm going to guess that even some of you know about messy rooms, because sometimes it's very tricky to keep your room clean. From the outside, the Bears' treehouse, which stood beside a sunny dirt road deep in Bear country, looked very neat and well kept. The flower beds sparkled with red, yellow, and blue tulips. The woodwork was freshly painted and in good repair. The grass was cut and the vegetable patch was properly weeded. Even the bird's nest that perched on one of the treehouse branches was well trimmed. Yeah, it looks like a nice and tidy house. Do you think that's what it looks like inside? The inside of the Bears' treehouse was neat and clean too. The pictures were straight, the piano was dusted, the kitchen was spick and span. Even the basement was neat and clean. And if you think it's easy to keep a treehouse basement neat and clean, well, you've never tried to do it. Yes, the Bears' treehouse was a lesson in neatness and cleanliness, except for one place, Brother Bear and Sister Bear's room. It was a mess. A dust-catching, wall-to-wall, helter-skelter mess. And right here it says closet, open at your own risk. A half-done jigsaw puzzle gathered dust in one corner of the room. A group of brothers' dinosaur models collected cobwebs in another. Sisters' stuffed animals were everywhere. As for the cubs' big storage closet, well, just be careful how you open it. It wasn't that brother and sister were naturally messy. They tried to keep their room straight. They made their beds most of the time. And they swept and picked up once in a while. Oh, look at that mama's face. I know how she feels. The trouble was that when cleanup time came, they spent more time arguing than cleaning. How am I supposed to sweep with your dumb dinosaur toys all over the floor, argued sister. They're not toys, they're models. And don't move them. I'm working on a setup of the Pleistocene age, brother protested. Pleistocene, schmeistocene, shouted sister. Not only was brother and sister's room a mess, but brother and sister were getting to be a mess too. Always arguing about cleanup chores instead of sharing the job and working as a team. It's much easier to work as a team. What usually happened was that while the cubs argued about whose turn it was to do what, Mama took the broom and did the sweeping herself. And she often did the picking up too. That was the worst part, the picking up and the putting away. Boys and girls, I know how this mama feels because my little bear cubs at home, they too are very messy. And sometimes it's really hard because it'd be much faster if I just did it. But if I did it, is that teaching the kids how to do it themselves? No, it's important for children to learn how to clean up their own messes. Well, the mess just seemed to build up until one day, maybe it was because Mama's back was a little stiff, or maybe it was stepping on Brother's airplane cement, or maybe she was just fed up with that messy room. But whatever it was, Mama Bear lost her temper. She stormed into the cubs' room with a big box. Now, boys and girls, do you think I could ever lose my temper and storm into my kids' room with a big box? Look at how sweet I am. Do you think I could? Oh my gosh, some of you got it right. I did lose my temper, boys and girls, last weekend. My kids' room was such a mess, I went in with trash bags. Guess how many trash bags it took to haul out all the mess? I hear lots of numbers. Oh, I think someone got it right. 6. I filled up 6 trash bags full of toys. And we had to take all the trash bags into the front yard. And I got bins. And some of the toys went really straight to the real trash, and some we had to have the kids sort and put all the things away and label them so that they would figure out how to clean up their own messes, because that is just 6 bags of toys is way too many to have on the floor. So I know exactly how that mama feels. The first thing we have to do is get rid of all this junk, she said. Junk, said brother and sister, watching in horror as Mama began to throw things in the box. My teddy isn't junk, screamed sister. My bird's nest collection isn't junk, yelled brother at the top of his lungs. Yep, that was how my house looked just last week. The screaming and yelling got so loud that it reached Papa, who was in his workshop putting the finishing touches on a batch of chairs that had been ordered by one of his customers. He couldn't imagine what was wrong. He hurried up the stairs and looked into the messy, noisy room. It didn't take a deep thinker to figure out what was going on. Uh-oh, look at those words. Do you think he's whispering or do you think he's yelling? You're right, he is yelling. Quiet! Papa got Mama and the cubs' attention and called a family meeting right then and there. Now, this mess has really built up in this room, he said. In fact, it's the worst case of messy buildup I've ever seen. And it isn't fair, he continued. It isn't fair to your mama and me because we have a lot of other things to take care of. And it isn't fair to you because you really can't have fun or relax in a room that's such a terrible mess. He is right. But Mama, putting all my things into that box, even my teddy, said Sister. And my things too, cried Brother. A box? Yes, he said. Better yet, a lot of different kind of boxes. A big toy box for your large toys. I can make one for you in my shop. And some smaller boxes for your collections and models. And how about one of those boards with holes and pegs to hang things on? Asked Sister. A pegboard, said Papa. Great idea. All this room needs is a little organization. A little organization and a few rules, added Mama. Rules about more sweeping and less arguing and not leaving things to gather dust and cobwebs. Papa set to work making a fine big toy box and a large pegboard, while the cubs and Mama sorted out toys, books, games, and puzzles and put them into boxes that fit neatly into the closet. Every box was clearly labeled. Ooh, boys and girls, when you're organized, it makes things easier to keep tidy. Some of the cubs' things did end up in Mama's big throwaway box. Not Sister's teddy, of course, but some of Brother's bird's nests, the crumbling, falling apart ones. It was a very big job cleaning up all that messy buildup, but after a lot of straightening up and putting away, the job was finally finished. Wow, said Brother. That was quite a job, but it was worth it. It looks like a whole new room, said Sister. The cubs were right. Oh, boys and girls, look how nice and organized it looks. Does that look like a room you could play in and have fun in? Yeah, I think so too. And Papa had been right too. It was so much more enjoyable to live in a clean, neat, well-organized room, and so much more relaxing. It wasn't as exciting to open the big storage closet now, but it was much more practical and a lot more fun. So boys and girls, after reading this story, I hope you will take a chance to look in your room and see if there's anything that you need to pick up or tidy up or sort back into the right place. Because, like Papa Bear said, it is very hard to relax and play and have fun in a messy room. And it's important that we learn to clean up after ourselves and to clean up our messes. So I hope you have fun cleaning up the mess in your room so that you can enjoy playing in it later.